Is a real friend if you're looking for technology. If you're really interested in trying new software, new technology, John has been a real advocate on the town board.
Right. He's a wealth of information
for anybody that really wants to take advantage of anything.
Well, the
like
fact,
that.
I think, what is it? He worked for IBM like 24, 25 years, something like that. That kind of helps.
So if I'm looking to try a new piece of equipment or a new software, I usually go to John first, and I'll say, John, you know, I would really like to try this. And he usually takes it to the table and
understands what your need, what the need is, and tries to match the software to it.
Every town board member has strong points,
right?
You know, and John's is definitely technology.
The technology, yeah. He takes pride in it. I could see that day when we had him on. Okay, anything else on accomplishments?
The website. As I mentioned before, the website is very extensive. My page in particular has a lot of information that pertains to my office, of course. It has a lot of helpful links, like to Westchester County, to New York State offices, Board of Elections, and there's also forms on there. In other words, if you needed a handicap permit or FOIL request, there are forms on there that you can use with instructions on what to do with them. A lot of the items that go out of my office do need, require identification requirements and stuff, but there are some that you can do by mail.
So exactly. So in other words, it's not even where they even have to come to the office anymore. They can just download, click whatever the link is, download the form, fill it out. If they have to get it notarized or whatever, get the information, mail it in, and they can do everything in that
not
sense.
Everything. Some things still require, more specific,
more sensitive in nature.
Identification, but there are things you can do that way.
Good. All right, and let's see. Do you have any future plans for your office?
I always have a little pile on the side of wish list things, that require things like, money and.
Things that are very sensitive in this day and age, especially in this economy.
But you know what? Little by little, that's how things move forward. So I would always like to expand the laser program that I'm using now. For example, I have not used it to archival agreements. That would be, one whole new project to take my agreement files and put them all on there so that it makes it easier for retrieval. One big thing I've always wanted to have, and maybe someday the supervisor and town board will let me have it, is I would like to have a records retention building on town campus property someplace. Because the building, the back of the building that we use right now, of course, we've outgrown it and we rent space other places. And I would like to have a building for records.
Now, when you say records, are you talking about like land sales, deeds?
There are many, many records that the town is required to keep forever, permanent records, that are continually generated new ones.
Now, I heard that the town of Cortland is only a couple of years old, right?
Yeah, a couple hundred years old.
Yeah, because they were like one of the first ones actually incorporated way back when. And it was actually it's across the street is Pierre Van Cortland House. That's a little white house right off of Hordown Road. And I believe the town of Cortland celebrated their 200th anniversary. What was it, about 10 years ago? A little more?
A little more than that.
Yeah, so you're a little over, you're at 200 years and counting, so you've been around.
And those years do generate a lot of records that you're required to keep. So my dream is to have a building on the town hall campus someplace where I can expand into. One other item that I have thought about, we have a lot of senior citizens that visit the town hall for different reasons.
Right.
I saw someplace on television, but I know it can be done, where if a senior citizen or a handicapped person even, more particular, pulls up in their car and it's difficult for them to get into the building because it's an old school building, and if they need to do something at the end of the hall, it could take them a long time to get there.
Right.
I would like there to be a phone at one designated parking spot out at town hall so that if they have difficulty, especially in the winter or raining, bad weather, they could pick up that phone and just be connected to my office.
Right.
To say, I need help, could somebody come out here?
Sure, even if it was something where they only even had to deliver it, where they can't even get to you physically, even if one of
I see a lot of elderly people with canes and walkers that will walk. The hall is long.
Yeah.
To get from the front door.
Especially through that courtyard too.
Right. So they could pick up the phone and say, you know, I'm here to renew my handicap parking permit. And we could have one of the girls easily go outside and do that for them. It would take 2 minutes. It would be nice to have that.
Nice thought, nice thought.
And the last thing on my list, well, my list, actually, there's never a last thing because I'm always adding to it. But another thing on my list, and I know someday we'll have it, and I know John will be involved, but there will be, or I would like there to be, notebooks or laptops at the Diaz where we sit on meeting nights, and instead of having paper that we're flipping through, they will look at their laptop screen.
Ah, well, maybe Bill Gates could, you know, like maybe donate a couple of these to the town of Cortland. He seems to be in a very philanthropic feel lately.
I mean, right now I am capable now. For 2 weeks prior to the town board meeting, they get something that I compile, which is a packet of all the pertinent information that has to do with the agenda, the business that they're going to be conducting that particular meeting, and I try to have it in an organized manner where it follows the agenda. I am now able to scan that packet and email it to them on Fridays rather than getting the paper packet that they used to get. So it cuts way back on paper.
Have you heard something about board? It's called Board Docs. That might be the software that you're talking about?
Well, I'm scanning right on my copy machine and then sending it that way.
Oh, sending it that way. I see.
So I would like to see that taken like another step further, where they're actually looking at that packet on a laptop in front of them at the meeting, and they can flip page to page to page, and saves a lot.
All right, so we're almost out of time, but we just want to remind all our viewers here. So are you running for office this year?
I am. I'm running this year. I'm running for my 4th term.
4th term?
Yep.
Have you been, do you have an opponent this time, or is this the first time in a long, because I know Cortland sometimes, the job that Linda on down, you do a great job there. You really haven't had an opponent, because when the elected official does their job, very rarely is there not room to bring someone else in. So why should we do it now? I mean.
Well, thank you, but I do have an opponent this year. Okay. I have not had an opponent in the recent past. But this is America, so
that's right. Listen, it's democracy. This is what it's supposed to be. So
my record is my record. I love talking about it, and it was great having that opportunity with you here today.
Well, they can reach you at.
They can call my office. The office number is 734-1020. They can contact me via the website
or
email. My email is JoAnn@townofcortland.com.
Okay. JoAnn, thank you very much.
It was nice to see you, Domenic.
Thank you. All right. So once again, it's another edition of the Volpe Report. I'm your host, Domenic Volpe. We are once again, I just want to remind everybody, I know I began it at the beginning. We are on Thursday nights, Channel 15 at 8 p.m. in the Peekskill, Cortland area. In the Yorktown area, it's Channel 74. And that's on Thursday nights now at a new time at 6 p.m., or I should say the new date is on Thursday at 6 p.m. We'd like to thank everybody. You can email me at dc9184@aol.com. Actually, and we've added a new thing, which where I have a website. It's called votefordominicvolpe.com. You can see all the shows that we've ever produced. We stream them online, so you can just go to that. It's called votefordominicvolpe.com. And it's up and running right now. It's a great website. It's not so much interactive, but there's a lot of information. You can email me back, send your comments. And once again, you can email me for any future shows to let you know what you'd like to hear about or talk about. Thank you very much.
To be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. from the lakes of Minnesota